Hey everyone. So in this quick and simple video, we're going to take a look at the revolve command and how we can use circular patterns and an embossing technique to go ahead and make some tread on a rounded object, in this case a tire. The reason for this, a lot of times for some of the reverse engineering projects we do, students will pick toy cars or things that have rubber wheels on them, and they can do the shape of the wheel itself but have some trouble with the tread portions and getting the extra geometry in there. So what we're going to look at is how we can use the revolve command to make the wheel itself, how we can use circular patterns to go ahead and create the treads. With that, we're going to have to use a bit of work with planes, and how we can use kind of an embossing technique to go ahead and match the curve of the tire. So because this is fundamentals of the tools, we're not going to spend too much time in dimensioning, and we're not going to necessarily make sure that it's fully constrained, although we may end up doing a little bit of that just to make sure that this works a little bit smoother. So in Fusion 360, what we're going to get started with is we're going to go ahead and create the first sketch. And while we usually work with the front view or the top view, in this case, we're going to start with the right side view just because of the look of a tire. We're going to start with kind of the cross section of it. And we're going to do most of this kind of within the line tool. So we're not starting at the origin, but we're using that as an anchoring point to go ahead and make sure that we're getting roughly placed. And we're leaving a gap for an axle or a rod that would hold it in place, and then a rough outline of a tire itself, or at least the rim of the tire. And just to go ahead and clean things up again a little bit, we're going to go ahead and make sure we've got a couple of constraints in to make sure it's all locked in place, and then we'll use a little bit to go ahead and make sure it lines up with the origin. So not necessarily fully constrained, but enough to go ahead and get started. Now, sometimes you may want to draw an additional line from the origin to give you a center axis, a point of rotation. But in this sketch, we're going to go ahead and use the ones that are, because we already started tying it to the origin, we're going to use that information as our axis of revolution. So the next step is let's actually do the revolving of our pattern. So the first thing we select is the profile, the shape itself, and then we'll switch over to a home view to select our axes. And while we could select the axes, the inner rim itself, we're going to go ahead and use the z-axis to go ahead and revolve the full wheel around. So with that done, we can actually look at the backside and see that we've got kind of a ability to go ahead and connect an axis in there, an axle rather. And the next step is we need to be able to kind of draw on the curved surface itself. So to take care of that, we're actually going to create a new work plane. And unlike some of the others, this case, because we have a rounded object, we can use a tangent plane where it'll touch one point, a single point of the outer perimeter, the outer axis or circle. So we select the face, the curved pattern that we have, and then we can choose what is the reference plane, which one is it going to be parallel to. So we could go ahead and go with our XZ plane where it kind of is already showing, or we can go ahead and say that we want to go from our YZ and work from the side. I think I like working from the side a little bit better, so we're going to select that one. And then the next step is we need to go ahead and create the pattern for our tread. So for this one, not necessarily having to draw with relationship to the origin point, we will make a rough rectangle pattern. We'll be able to clean this up a little bit as needed. Clean this up a little bit with our geometric constraints, and you can choose to do it other ways. I just like the idea of having kind of a chevron pattern, kind of a rectangle creating an arrow of sorts. And then maybe just a little bit of dimensioning to make it a little easier to go ahead and make sure that it's properly sized. So the reason that I went ahead and typed in one value is I can then reference that same value. And because it's not fully constrained, I can then go ahead and tweak it a little bit, roughly place it. Now, some geometric constraints can still certainly help lock it in place. It's kind of up to you how you choose to decide that. I think I'm going to go far enough that those will pretty much match up. And then at this point, we'll go ahead and finish the sketch. And then what we need to do is we need to make sure that it's matching the curve. So having drawn those as flat shapes, to go ahead and make it match the curve of the wheel itself, we're going to do a modification of a regular extrusion. So as a regular extrusion, you see that it's not actually touching the object itself, not touching the wheels on their own. But if we tell it to go ahead and start rather from the profile plane where we drew the shapes, we can tell it to move from the object, and that goes ahead and gives a little bit of a curve to it. So when we bring this back a little bit, make it a 0.1 inch extrusion, and we look at it from the side, we can loosely see that both parts are curved. Now the next step is to go ahead and make that tread go all around the object. So to take care of that, this is where we're going to go ahead and use the circular pattern tool. So to take care of this, the first thing we need to do is select the objects, or in this case the faces that we want. So we'll start selecting all of the different faces that we can see. Change our view a little bit to go ahead and get a few more of the sides. And we know that 3 dimensions, we've got 6 different faces that we're going to be collecting, or at least 5 of the 6 that we can go ahead and collect. And then we need to go ahead and, with all of those pieces set up, we need to go ahead and select the axis of rotation. And you could try and go ahead and do it against the curve that it is. We could go back and use the origin axis. But now the next step is to go ahead and set up that pattern so it's repeating as many times as we need. You could do some rough counting, you could do some rough spacing, but let's say about 30 of those. Maybe take a look from the right side. We can try going up a little bit, maybe 35 or maybe even 40. That gets a little tight. It's not the best pattern that I've ever created for these, but 35, we've got a form of tread, and that's basically what you need to go through. You need to go ahead and create a plane, draw your tread, and after you have the bases of your tread set up, you go ahead and use the circular pattern command to go ahead and rotate it around the entire object. So hopefully this gives you an idea about what the revolve tool are, how we can set up some of the different planes, and how you can go ahead and use the circular pattern to go ahead and take care of some of the monotonous tasks.